I'm not famous, but I know someone who is. Alright, so at the very beginning of my life, I always grew up with a wonderful family, a loving mom and dad, and they would always tell me about God, this wonderful idea that, go to church and He loves you, and, you pray before every meal, and just, the basics. And I always, I believed it. I was like, alright, we have meaning, we have purpose, but I didn't really grasp it. I was a kid, and I was just kind of going along with it. And around 5th grade was when I actually started getting my own hold on things and becoming aware that people were finding out who they were and what their purpose was in life. And I was really insecure about it because I was always that really awkward girl who, she was very awkward socially, and she didn't really exactly fit in, always dressed kind of weird, and, that was just always who I was. And, I don't know, I also found myself very selfish. I would always live for myself, and very people pleaser personality. I'd always want to please people and want to fit in, so I'd always lie about myself and lie about what I liked and who I was, so I would fit in and make those friendships and just do the stupidest things to get people's approval. And this really became bad around my junior high days because we moved the first day and I didn't know anyone, and I walked in and I just had the wrong clothes, and I didn't look the way that everybody else looked, and everybody just looked at me weird, and I was like, oh no, I need to fit in. And so I would always just, I would lie about myself, what I liked, and try to fit that mold that everybody in society was setting for me, and it was just never fulfilling. I just felt always disappointed, and I was bullied because I didn't fit in, and I was just, by the time I got into 8th grade, I was just so fed up with trying to please people because it never worked, and I would always lose more friends because nobody would believe me. They'd say I was dishonest because I lied about myself and everything, and I just was so insecure. And so at the end of 8th grade, I was just at this really low point in my life. My emotions were just going wild. I was a crazy emotional girl. I was just, just going insane, and I don't know why I was here, and I was like, I disappoint people, I never live up to standards, I can't make real long-lasting friendships. And a girl in my neighborhood was actually very kind, and she invited me to a youth group at her church, and I said, okay, I do the God thing. And so I went, and it was the first time I actually experienced God, His real love. I saw the love and how much these teenagers, people my age, loved Him. And I was just amazed by that, they were, on their knees, and it wasn't just they're putting up an act. You could feel that they loved God and that they understood that God loved them, and that was the first time I really grasped that God, I really was there, and how much, what a sacrifice it was that He gave His Son for us to die for our sins, and so we could have a new start and have purpose, and that He loves us and He likes us the way we are, and He created us to be who we are and to embrace the talents He's given us, and He made us beautiful, so even if we are super awkward like I was, we had a purpose. And so that I was like, wow, I'm awkward, but I'm loved, and I'm special. And after that, I was just so in love with God, and I gave my life to Him and got baptized on September 3rd, 2009, and that was just one of the best days of my life. And ever since then, I've been living for Him, and I just found security in who I was and who He made me to be, and I have no shame in letting people know who I am and being that awkward, socially loud girl, and just embracing the artistic talents He's given me and living my life out for Him, and it's just the best decision of my life. So I'm not famous, but I know someone who is.